Dylan made a new food video. You guys know for exactly, I love food videos at the end of the day. It gives me like ideas in the future to do cooking streams. I think it'd be really fun. Um, the only thing is that if I want to do a cooking stream here in my room or so, or my little Shake Shack thing or so that I have here, right? My little home, I would have to basically get like a desk. I would have to, or like a table or something, like a foldable table, and like get a camera for it, and then also on top of that, try to find a way where I can plug it all in and everything, and try to like have cooking stuff ready for to cook. And it's kind of like the gist of it. That's all I can think of. So
Of course you do, fat ass JK. I'm kidding.
your mom's a fat ass, but yeah, that's kind of like generally it. But I think I'd rather wait until once I properly have everything set up for it. So I don't want to rush anything, but I'd rather properly get everything. Damn, Cole, you folks scrapped a gift when a man is in JP. Could have been buying weep shit, but he had to gift you subs. Yeah, but your mom gifts me subs every single night. What are you talking about when she drops her BBL on me, okay? Anyways, let's go check out the Dylan video, shall we? I ate at America's oldest Chinese restaurant. So I'm so curious to see. Oldest Chinese restaurant, huh? How old are we talking about? And how good is it? My question is too.
Orange chicken, beef and broccoli,
Of course.
fortune cookies.
Of course.
If you grew up in the United States, that's probably what comes to mind when you think Chinese food. But what if I told you none of those dishes were even invented in China? If that's the case, where is this food actually from?
It's funny. I think I've eaten what is it? Was it dim sum? Stuff. What is dim sum? Is it dim sum? I forget what it's called or so.
In this video, I'm eating at the oldest Chinese restaurants in America to see where it all
Oldest
started
Chinese
and hopefully learn
restaurants.
how it became America's go-to takeout order.
So basically all of these are just American version of Chinese food. That's interesting. I've had dim sum before. It was actually pretty good.
I've
If it
officially
is
made it
Chinese.
to Pasadena, California, and what better place to
Of course it's California. Of course it is. Scrap, do you know where this is at? Panda Inn? Apparently this is in California.
start my historical Chinese food journey than at a place called Panda Inn, otherwise known as the original Panda Express. Let me explain. Panda Inn was founded in 1973 by chef Ming Sai Chung with the simple goal of bringing Chinese food to more Americans. The restaurant was so successful that it eventually led him and his family to then create the most famous Chinese fast food chain of all time. Personally,
Oh, so they created Panda Express? That's interesting. That is a very interesting backstory. Never knew about that, actually.
I'm a fan of Panda Express, especially their orange chicken, which I'm assuming a lot of you are too. And I've always wanted to eat here, so let's get this thing started.
Gotta go use King's card
Well,
instead of forcing
This
Scrap. I'm gonna force your mom in a second.
Express.
It honestly felt like I had just walked
care,
into a
Dubstep, take
Michelin-star
care.
Chinese restaurant with its large grand dining room, banquet tables with lazy Susans,
Interesting.
and this insanely nice bar. Based on the photos online, I did assume that this place would be fancy, hence why I wore a button-up. However, this place is like fancy. I'm somewhat uncomfortable, but like in a good way, because I'm also excited to be here. Anyways, let's check out the menu. Right off the bat, Panda Inn had so many options you would never find at
Sorry
a
to
regular...
interrupt and everything like that. I want to show you guys something that I found or so, some like shoes or so that I would totally love to wear. I think there'd be really good cosplays, but it's sidetracked or so. But like, I found some really good looking shoes, and I'm kind of thinking maybe to buy one of them, maybe in the future. I'm not too sure though, but they look really nice though.
Panda Express, like mapo tofu, tea smoked duck, and even Taiwanese braised pork rice. However, going into this, I was already prepared to order their orange chicken for a couple reasons. The first being that the orange chicken here is supposed to be better than what's served at Panda Express, which does make sense considering how nice this place is. And secondly, this company is the reason why orange chicken exists in the first place. It was created by Chef Andy Cao, who was working at Panda Express in 1987 and obviously was a huge hit. It became their
It
signature
started in
item,
Hawaii.
and believe it or not, the
Ah.
dish played a huge role in making Chinese food one of the most popular cuisines in the US.
Thank you so much.
Ah.
Yes, please.
Interesting.
My order has been placed, and I am very excited to eat. My food hasn't come out yet, but I am seeing other people get their food, and it smells divine. Or I'm just hungry. I don't know. Maybe both. Probably both.
Alright, so this is gonna be the orange chicken.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Wow, that looks great.
Yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then steamed white rice. Enjoy.
Appreciate it. Ladies and gents, the food has arrived, and just like the restaurant itself, this looks nothing like what you'd get at your typical Panda Express. Like I said, had to get the famous orange chicken.
Of course.
And I also wanted to order something that's a bit more traditionally Chinese and not available at any Panda Express. So, we got some sizzling vegetable mapo tofu. Look at these bubbles.
Dude, I love mapo tofu. Dude, that's like probably one of my favorite things to eat. I have some of that to make at home too as well. The mapo tofu tastes so good.
Is hot. Temperature-wise and probably spice-wise too. Y'all ready to dig in? Because I am. Starting with the mapo tofu. Oh man, the texture of this looks fantastic.
That does look
Look at
good. I ain't gonna lie, to be
Look at that
honest.
jiggle. Never in my life did I think I
It's
would
been a
be
while
eating
since I've had
mapo
mapo
tofu
tofu,
at the
though.
original Panda Express. But here we are. Cheers.
Damn it, I'm hungry now. I'm not.
So I could already tell the texture of this mapo tofu was perfect. It wasn't too gelatinous, and the tofu is super soft. The flavor is fantastic. It's super savory, and it has that
Damn,
nice kick to it, which is
dude.
very important, especially since mapo tofu is a staple dish in Szechuan cooking. Now, I will say, typically Szechuan cooking is known for leaning on the spicier side of things. However, I can tell that the spice levels here are a bit toned down. That's okay though, because the flavor is still really good, and it is very, very addicting to eat.
Well, it's because a lot of people can't handle spices. Like I can eat spicy food, but my stomach can't handle it. My stomach will hate it, so that's the only thing.
Now that I've tried the tofu, it's time. Based on appearances alone, this does look very different from what's found at Panda Express. You can see
Yeah,
little
leftovers from
slivers of orange on
Thanksgiving.
top, along with some little chilies.
Turkey,
All right,
gobble,
that's
gobble.
enough of me yapping. It's time to eat. Cheers. Yo, I like that. Let me take one more bite to collect my thoughts. So the first thing I'll say about this is it is reminiscent of the orange chicken you'd get at Panda Express. But the thing is, it's way better. First off, I feel like it's less sweet than what you'd get at the fast food chain, which I personally like. It also has like a different type of spice to it, which I'm assuming is from them making it to order with the dried chilies. As for the texture, it's fried perfectly. It's nice and crunchy. The chicken isn't dry, it's still juicy. And I know this might sound weird and very different from what I normally talk about in these videos, but when I took my first bite, I couldn't help but feel a little nostalgic, not because of like Panda Express as a company or anything like that, but because growing up, my great aunt actually owned a Chinese fast food restaurant in LA
Oh.
where I would spend basically all of my summers as a kid. Unfortunately though, she did sell the place back in 2010, so I haven't been able to eat it from there again. Every time I do eat orange chicken, you know, gets me thinking a little bit. I'm gonna stop being emo now and eat before this food gets cold.
All jokes aside, it was just really cool being
Okay.
able to eat at the place that basically invented my favorite childhood meal.
I am so full. Ladies and gents, my meal at Panda Inn is officially complete, and in typical Panda Express fashion, I got my leftovers as takeout. The thing is, I wasn't even planning on rating restaurants in this video. That's not even the point, but I gotta give this place its props. 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. With that being said, I think
Is it really that good? We'll send Scrap over there one of these days. Scrap can taste it for us.
I now understand how modern Chinese takeout became so popular. So the next thing on the list
Is to find out what Chinese restaurants were like before they became mainstream.
And lucky for me, I can drive there. Hello, my rental car. Come along with me on the drive. Alrighty, everybody. After about an hour drive in terrible LA traffic, I've finally made it to Paul's Kitchen, formerly known as Paul's Cafe. This dining
Paul's
establishment was started by a
Kitchen?
man named Paul Yi in 1946, and it's the oldest surviving Chinese restaurant in LA's old Chinatown.
Cantonese
Now, what I find very
food?
special about this restaurant is the fact that it was never created with the intent of going global. Instead, it's been serving LA's working class community ever since it opened. Based on that, and the fact that it's also a cash-only restaurant, I have a feeling the food is gonna be fantastic. So, let's head inside.
I made my way over to the front door, very eager to see what such a historic restaurant would be like. And believe me when I say this, I was not disappointed one bit.
This place is sick. So I just got seated, and to no surprise, this place definitely looks like your stereotypical Chinese restaurant. However, it also looks and feels exactly like a classic American diner at the same time, which I wasn't expecting, but is very cool.
The owner of the place is also a huge Dodgers fan, which makes sense, especially considering that Dodgers Hall of Famer Tommy Lasorda was a regular here. He even has his own menu item. As for the rest of the menu, Paul's Kitchen has been described as culturally Chinese but unapologetically American, which means that the food itself uses classic Chinese techniques, but it's been adapted for American customers.
After looking through the menu, I think I know what to get.
Awesome, thank you so much. Now, while I wait for my food, I just gotta say, the support on the channel has been absolutely unbelievable lately. So thank you to everyone watching for allowing me to make these videos in the first place. Cheers to that. With that being said, these videos are also very expensive to make, and I've been needing to answer a lot more business emails lately. Clearly, I am not the most professional sounding guy, which normally is fine, but I do struggle a bit when I'm trying to write emails and not sound completely clueless. But that's where the sponsor of today's video, Grammarly, comes in. Grammarly
wow, Grammarly
is an AI writing partner
that's
that helps
crazy.
professionals with all of their writing needs from draft to done.
Anyways.
.com/DYLAN.
And just like that,
chow mein
Awesome.
with pork.
Thank you so much. That looks amazing. Thank you. The food
Hey, Zhao.
has arrived. Y'all, I am salivating just looking at this. It looks so good. Right here, I ordered the char siu chow mein, and over here, sweet and sour pork, a classic Chinese American dish. They also brought out a bowl of egg drop soup, which I love, so I'm
Egg drop
very
soup.
excited.
Very
I'm gonna
good.
try the chow mein first, since this was also a staple dish at my great aunt's restaurant. Cheers. Oh my god. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I started smiling before I even put all this in my mouth. I promise I am not overhyping this. This is some of the best chow mein I think I've ever had.
Is
You
it
can taste
really
the
that
soy sauce,
good?
the garlic, the ginger. The sauce coats the noodles perfectly. And one major detail, it's not too oily either. The vegetables are soft while still having a nice bite to them. And the char siu, which is Chinese sweet and savory pork, my lord, it is delicious. It's so tender, and it adds a very subtle sweetness to the entire dish, which I really, really like. I literally just want to keep eating and not talk anymore. This is crazy. Let me cleanse my palate with some soup real quick. Something about this egg drop soup just feels so comforting. It also cuts through some of the heaviness from the noodles, which is perfect since now I can eat sweet and sour
Apparently
pork.
this is in California. It's called Paul's something. Chinese
man.
food.
This place is gonna make me
Cantonese?
never
It's
want to go back to
Cantonese food.
Texas. They don't got it like this in Dallas. Now, for those of you who don't know, sweet and sour pork, it does have roots in Cantonese cooking. However, the American version is usually a lot sweeter. With that being said, it is delicious. The outside texture is perfect. It's nice and crispy, crunchy. The pork itself is still a little fatty, succulent, tender. I got so many words right now. This has never happened to me before. Where am I right now?
I usually
I'm gonna eat that
avoid
with some
pork,
rice.
eating pork as much as possible.
Oh man.
It's
All
from
of this
time to
together
time,
hits
but
the
not every so
spot.
often.
Alrighty, y'all. My meal is complete, and before
Paul's
I get
Kitchen,
into
that's
things,
what it's
I
called.
have to say this. This place continues to prove my point that cash-only restaurants are elite. Anyways, as said before, I wasn't originally planning on rating any of the restaurants I visit in this video. However, this place also deserves 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. I would give it 6 stars. On a serious note, it is so amazing being able to eat somewhere that, in my opinion, is the perfect representation of what Chinese American cooking really is. There is one question I still haven't been able to answer yet, and that question is, how did Chinese food become Chinese American in the first place?
in order to find that answer, there's somewhere special I had to go.
Like lean meat? Ah, I see. Where are we going? Where are we?
I'm at the airport.
What?
Now, many of you might assume that the oldest Chinese spot in the US is located somewhere like LA, San Francisco, or New York because of their
What?
massive Chinatowns. I wish that were the case. Instead, it's all the way in Montana. Guys, it is
Wait, it's in the oldest Chinese restaurant is in Montana? Eh.
so cold here. This is very different compared to California. Now, I'm in Bozeman right now and actually have to drive about an hour and a half away to Butte, Montana, because that's where the oldest Chinese restaurant in America is. With that being said,
Really?
let's go grab the rental
Oh,
car
that's an
and get
interesting
going.
history, actually. That's interesting. I'm always curious with these kinds of types of videos. Does he fly after he visits, or does he stay there for like a day or something? I'm always curious about that, actually.
Holy cow. This is literally the prettiest drive I have ever been on.
God damn.
Now, I'll be honest, I was also very surprised to learn that America's oldest Chinese restaurant was located in a small Montana town I'd never even heard of. But back in the late 1800s, Butte had a thriving Chinese community who immigrated there to work in the mines and on the railroads. They were eventually forced out of the mining industry, though, due to anti-Chinese laws at the time, which in turn
Wait, let me see. Anti-Chinese.
eventually forced out of the mining
Hip hooray, Chinese excluded. Democratic Chinese exclusion bill has been signed. Our Democratic president, hip hurrah. The white man is on the top. Let every Democrat and all of the good citizens are now ratify this democratic measures. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember this.
industry, though, due to anti-Chinese laws at the time, which in turn led to many of them becoming entrepreneurs, starting laundromats,
I heard about
general
this.
stores, and of course, restaurants.
I heard about this.
Before
I
dinner, I
forgot about that in
made a quick stop at
history.
my hotel,
They taught us that.
Hi, checking in.
changed into some much-needed warmer clothes. Then I got back in the car and drove all the way to
Pekin Noodle Parlor, the oldest continuously operating Chinese restaurant
Really?
in the entire United States.
Founded in the year 1911 by a man named Tam Kwang Yi and his business partner Ham Yao, this restaurant has been passed down in the family while serving the local community of Butte the entire time.
Everything in this video
Chop
has
suey.
been leading up to this specific restaurant, and I am beyond excited to eat here.
That is pretty
But
old,
before
I'm
we
not gonna
go
lie, that is
inside,
pretty cool.
There is a little fun fact I'd like to share with y'all. I found this statistic online, and apparently, there are only 28 Chinese people in this entire town with a population of 35,000. Why
Holy shit, dude.
does that matter, you ask? Well, it makes me wonder whether the food here is more Chinese or whether it's more American than all of the other restaurants I've been to. Either way, this is going to be a very cool part of history to explore.
I like how
follow
he
me
gives
inside.
off the history
As I made
stuff
my
about
way
this
through the
about
front
the
door
restaurants
up
and everything. I
these
kind of
steep
like
wooden
it. It's
stairs,
pretty cool.
I very quickly realized that Pekin Noodle Parlor was unlike any of the other restaurants in this video. Rather than looking like a modern fine dining spot, or even a classic American diner, it kind of felt like an old Chinatown tea parlor. It had these strange private booths with curtains,
Oh, wow.
this narrow hallway, and decorations that might have been here since they opened. So we just got seated, and it's very safe to say I have never been to a restaurant that looks like this in my entire life. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. The vibe is interesting, to say the least. Now, obviously, since this place does serve Chinese American food, they have all of the classics like orange chicken, sweet and sour pork, and chow mein. But what they're actually known for are their chop suey dishes. If
Yeah,
you
there
don't
you
know
go,
what
there's
that
a
is,
chop
chop
suey.
suey is basically a meat and vegetable stir fry with a simple sauce created by Chinese immigrants in the 1800s. Back then, traditional Chinese cooking wasn't widely accepted, so they had to adapt by using local ingredients along with Chinese techniques. Some people even say chop suey was created for the workers by using leftovers, but regardless, it became a massive hit and basically is the first major evolution of Chinese American food in the US. So ordering it is a no-brainer.
Here's the general sauce. Here's the pecan chop suey.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Want any red chili paste or anything like that?
I'm all right now. Thank you. So the food has arrived. Right here we have the Pekin Special Chop Suey. I believe this has chicken and pork in it. And over here, their General Tso's chicken. Truthfully, I have a few thoughts that I don't think I want to say out loud. Cue my voiceover.
I promise I'm not trying to be mean, but these dishes do not look appetizing in the slightest. To start, the General Tso's chicken was drowned in so much sauce, which I'm assuming ruined the crispy fried texture the chicken is supposed to have. As for the chop suey, I don't even know where to begin. The chicken and pork kind of looked like deli meat, it was way too saucy, and if I just pull up a photo of what chop suey is supposed to look like,
Yeah.
there's a very big difference here. I was honestly in shock since these dishes are supposed to be from such a legendary restaurant, and at the same time, also hoping
Question
that
is,
my
does
eyes
it
were
taste
just
good,
deceiving
though?
me,
That's the
and
question to
it would taste
ask.
better than it looked. But there's only one way to find out. First up, let's try the General Tso's. So the first word that comes to mind is interesting. For once, I'm going to refrain from giving my thoughts until I try everything in front of me. So next up, let's try the chop suey. Cheers.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's not looking good, chat. It's not looking good for the oldest Chinese restaurant. Uh-oh.
As you can probably tell from my face, not a happy boy.
Oh.
As expected, the General Tso's chicken was soggy and didn't have that nice crunch you'd want from crispy fried chicken. Flavor-wise, it was overly sweet, even by American standards, and lacked any type of spice that's supposed to come from dried chilies. Now let's talk about the chop suey.
I'm fat
It
and I
was
know
so
my
bland.
food. You're not
All of
supposed
the
to
meat
say that you're
was
fat,
extremely
okay?
dry, and the sauce basically turned everything, including the vegetables, into mush. And I wish I was exaggerating. With that being said, I also have something to admit. Earlier today, I spent some time in downtown Butte talking to locals and just kind of asking about this restaurant in particular. The reactions weren't great. According to the locals, Pekin Noodle Parlor used to be a lot better when the previous owner, Danny Wong, was still alive. Unfortunately, ever since he passed, the restaurant has taken a turn for the worse. Now, I'm not sure what exactly happened when the new owner took over, but I'll just let some of these reviews speak for themselves.
It breaks my heart that I know the past owner Danny Wong personally, as did my family. The man, he left this business to ruin it. He cut corners. He ordered out food. He treated his staff terribly, and he changed recipes. They served my beef chow mein with ordered out noodles, overcooked celery, the only vegetable on the plate, and actually had to call to saturated into beef in powdered beef gravy mix. Interesting. Shame. The owner, his brother, should be ashamed, but I'm sure he's not. He's not. I doubt there is a capacity left after what he has done to himself throughout his life and the bad choices he's made to feel anything but need for more. Let's call them extracurricular since we don't want to.
I did try to come in here with as open of a mind as I could have, but it truly pains me to say this. The food here is disappointing.
Now look, I know I'm being kind of harsh,
Yikes.
but nothing I'm saying takes away from the fact that Pekin's place in shaping Chinese American history is undeniable. And although the food wasn't what I'd hoped for, there was something else I gained from the experience here.
Yikes. Yikes. Not good. Not good food. The oldest Chinese restaurant, and it is now a bottom of the barrel now. Should have been the leader, to be honest, but you know.
I feel so strange right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to put it into the right words. One of the main reasons I wanted to film this video is because growing up as an Asian American, there's been so many times I've just wondered whether I'm more Chinese Viet or more American, I guess. It sucks to admit this, but I know
Americano.
there were lots of times where one side got rejected quite a bit because it wasn't cool and didn't feel like it belonged. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Pekin Noodle Parlor, somehow I feel like it answered a lot of my questions in a very unexpected way.
After eating at all of these restaurants, I guess it was never about deciding whether these dishes are more Chinese or more American. Instead, it showed me that both sides influenced something really special. That it's important to keep both sides in mind. And maybe the pieces you've pushed away are the parts you need to revisit the most.
Oh wow, he went back? No way. Oh, this is gonna be interesting to see. No! well. I was hoping he would actually make a video on that part. Damn, dude. Oh well, that was a good video to be honest. Not bad, not bad. But it still proves that the oldest Chinese restaurant is not the greatest anymore. That's interesting. That's cool. That's very interesting to hear of how like certain foods were basically made. So that was a good video. That was definitely a good video. Dylan always makes good videos. I love his food videos overall. I think they're fucking fantastic, to be honest. And if you haven't subscribed or so, you should. You know, like I said, I always put the channel in the description every single time. Always, I always put it there for everybody who keeps asking me where's the source and everything. It's literally right down here. Just open up the description and it's always at the bottom where it says source. Always. Go subscribe to them. Subscribe all the videos that we always watch all the time. You know, it's always there for them. You know, go give them support, you know, at the end of the day. Subscribe. Trying to hit 20K before the end of the year. You support your girl here. Hopefully we can get some new type of content because I really do want to make some there's some type of content that I want to make though, but unfortunately I need to get me an editor for it. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Curiosity or so. If I go, well, my question is like, you know, do you guys think like overall that your guys's, you know, because I always keep hearing, right, California always has the best Asian food, quotation marks. Question is if that actually is true though, but we'll see. I don't know. I feel like I doubt it though. I personally doubt it, but you know, that's just me though. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video, and peace. Also, subscribe.